If journaling has 0 fans left, that means I'm dead. So you better start journaling. Hello and welcome back to Sandra's Shelf, where I talk all things self-help, mental health, and lifestyle. So today we're going to be talking about a very exciting and important video to my heart, and it's how to start journaling for beginners. So let's take this back about 16 years ago. I was a very quiet, introspective, shy, sad little child. Now I was reading this fiction book that was in French about a girl that was journaling her day-to-day life, and obviously it was fictional, so in her day-to-day she got to express all her emotions and talk about her crushes and talk about her friends or the friends she wished she had, and it gave me the idea to start journaling myself. And since I was 10, I have not stopped journaling. Among the very many things that journaling has taught me and has given to me, the best one is that it's given me a voice to speak my mind, to speak my thoughts, and to basically go after all of my dreams. And that is what I wish for those of you watching this video. So that's why I decided to start a whole journaling section on my channel as well. So this video is going to be my steps as to how to start journaling for beginners. Obviously, if you're not a beginner, please feel free to stick around and share your own advice as well. Although this video is not going to be talking much about the mental health and the overall benefits of journaling, but because you know that I love talking about mental health, I will be making a second video on that pretty soon. I really want this video to be practical and concise, and you guys know I tend to talk a lot, so we'll jump right into the tips right away. The first thing you're gonna have to do is to pick your tools. Now, by tools, obviously this could be paper tools, so you can get notebooks and journals, or if you decide to go the digital route, you might want to find an app. You might want to use your iPad or your iPhone or any other electronic device to journal your thoughts. For me, I definitely prefer paper, so I have different journals for different things. And I definitely do use sometimes my notes app to journal when I'm away from my notebook or I'm away from my journal for a certain period of time. So I do jot down notes, and I do jot down some journal entries that I either keep in the notes app or I print out later on, or I transcribe back into my journal. It all depends as to what you feel comfortable with and as to what you prefer. But if you're going into the print route, then you're gonna need to get some pens, maybe some highlighters. It depends how artistic or artsy you are. Maybe you want to have some washi tapes. It all depends on you. Personally, for me, all I need is my fountain pens, and since writing with fountain pens 2 or 3 years ago now, I have never switched back to regular pens for journaling. I use regular pens on a daily occasion when annotating, but for my journals, I always use fountain pens, and I have black and blue ink depending on what I want to journal. My second tip is to know your why. I find that when you know your why and why you want to journal and why you feel like picking up this practice or this habit of journaling, it makes you more inclined to stick with it, or it makes you more inclined to start journaling. Now, if you don't know your why or you're not too sure, that's totally okay, and you can actually discover your why when journaling. There are many different reasons why people want to journal. Maybe you want to heal your inner child, maybe you want to do shadow work, maybe you want to work through some trauma, or maybe lighter things. Maybe you just want to record something for the future. You want to jot down your favorite memories for the future. You want to jot down your life story for maybe your kids. It could be whatever you decide it to be. You can even use journaling as a creative practice, and you can even use journaling to romanticize your life, to fall back in love with your life. Whatever you choose will give intention to your journaling. And you could have more than one whys. You could have different journals for different things as well. I know that some people keep journals for the sole fact of productivity and to track their progress. That is also very much valid. Journaling is not just like keeping a diary. It could be whatever you decide it to be, whatever is going to serve you and whatever is going to add to your life and add value to your life. Or just even allowing yourself to be expressive on a page. This leads us to tip number 3, which is to know that there are different kinds of journal. When you know your why, it makes it easier for you to adapt to the different types of journaling methods or even the different kinds of journals. You could have bullet journals where you write lists or you keep track of lists. It could be to-do lists, it could be goal lists, it could also be a dream life list, it could be anything that you want. But just know that even if you're using one kind of journaling, it doesn't mean that you have to do one kind of thing. You could have a bullet journal and still write down thoughts and write down feelings and write down different things. You can have a regular journal where you just continue to write about your life, you write about your daily happenings, you can write about everything that comes across your mind, that comes across your thoughts, or even in those journals where you write longhand, you can also answer to certain prompts, you can just go into shadow work, whatever you decide to do. For me, that's this journal here with the quote by E. Roosevelt. It says, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." And this journal is literally just a regular journal where I go through certain dates, certain events, certain memories. So this is very much a personal journal where I just write whatever I feel like, and it relates to events, dates, people, memories, and things that I don't want to forget about certain highlights or lowlights of my life. I know that some people keep an artistic or more like a visual art journal where they put in photos, where they put in art, where they put in washi tapes, where they decorate, where there are more visuals than written pieces. That is also valid. That is also a way of journaling. It all depends on you. There are people that also combine everything all together. It goes from trauma to dreams to photos to written to bullet point to lists. That is also a way of journaling. A new journal that I have and a new journaling practice that I've been following is doing the morning pages, and I do this in this journal, which is Fate, Hope, Love. I don't remember where I got this from or if someone gifted this to me, but the morning pages comes from this book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and it's this 12-week program that helps artists to go through their creative blocks and just dedicate themselves to having some stream of consciousness writing in the morning to help them live a more creative life. And I've been doing that as a writer. For me, I've been loving this wholly new journaling practice. And so in this journal, I don't really talk about love or really relationships or people in depth. I actually talk more about the relationship I have to the universe, to my creativity, to my writing, to the things that I do on YouTube even. So that's what this serves. The morning pages is 3 long pages, and that's what I've been doing. I've been trying more or less to stick to the 3 pages rule. Another popular journal is a gratitude journal where people list the things that they're grateful for, or even the 1 day aligned journal where they just write 1 line a day, or they write 3 things that they're grateful for every single day. Those are also journals or a way of journaling when you're not too committed to the practice or when you just want to keep it short and sweet. Another journal practice that I have been engaged with very recently, and it's in the past month that I've been doing this, is scripting. So every day I script 1 page, 1 short page where I go in depth into what I want my life to be. So this is more in line with the manifestation and affirmation journaling. So I script my life as if it already happened, and then to take it a step further, because this is a very generalized but also very specific dream life scripting of my life, I also share every day on TikTok. I go on TikTok and I read what I write every day. So if you want to follow my TikTok by the same username, go ahead, show some love. Maybe it will inspire you to script too. And that's kind of why I'm doing it. It's because I want to inspire other people to start journaling, start scripting. I think scripting is good because it could just be 1 small page and 1 short page. It could be someone's foot to the doorway of long form journaling. And it can be an easy way to form the habit of journaling. My 4th tip is to be as consistent as you want. Now, depending in which category you fall into, it might impact the way you're gonna start journaling and how often you're gonna journal. Now, although a lot of people journal every day or every second day, that doesn't mean that you have to start off that way. It can be that you start every month, bi-weekly, weekly, and then daily, or it can be that you start daily and then you realize that it's too much for you or you don't have enough to say, and then you decide to go and switch weekly. That is all valid. Doesn't mean that you don't journal or that you're not a journaler if you decide to write every 3 days, every week, or every month even, okay? It all depends how much you want to use journaling as a practice. It all depends what you're using journaling for and how best it fits into your life. Obviously, if you really want to be consistent with journaling and you want to produce journals after journals, then you're going to have to set some kind of routine or incorporate journaling at some point in your day. Most people either incorporate journaling in the morning or at nighttime. I do both now. I used to only do one time, and now I'm at that point where I make sure I always do my morning journal pages, but I don't always have to do my nighttime pages. It depends what I go through and how I feel like at night. The other thing you might notice is that when you start your day with journaling, you're gonna have a great day or a very relieving day. And another thing you're gonna notice is when you end your day with journaling, you're gonna have a great night and a restful night and a very relieving night. So either way, if you wanna go crazy, you can decide to journal in the morning at nighttime and you just split up that time around. And honestly, just do what's right for you. Some people prefer journaling when they're commuting. Some people prefer journaling on their phones when they're in the subway. It all depends where you can find pocket of time and where you can dedicate something that's a bit more consistent. My fifth tip might sound weird, but just bear with me for a second. My fifth tip is to embrace your growth. Now, not to get all spiritual on you, but something really profound happens to you and happens to your life when you start journaling. And this applies to almost all the types of journaling that I listed earlier. So when you start to journal consistently, you start to see shifts in your life. You start to notice different patterns. You start to be different, think different, and feel different. Now, it might not be right away, it might take some time, and it might not work for every single person, but normally people that have never journaled before and come to me and talk about journaling afterwards, they say, Sandra, you were right. I am seeing massive changes. I am seeing different things, or I'm being aware and awakened to things that I've never seen before. Journaling can present different growth in different areas in your life. It could present self-awareness, it can present mindfulness, it can relieve anxiety and depression, it can help you manifest easier and quicker, it can help you heal, and it can help you heal your inner child. For some people, it can even strengthen your relationship to yourself, to your spirituality, to your God, to the universe, to all kinds of relationships that before might have been suffering or might have not had enough attention to. You can see massive improvement in your productivity and reaching your goals, and it can help through creativity blocks. And these are only some of the benefits of journaling. I'll definitely be making more videos around journaling, so don't worry. If you want to see more, or if you want to see something very specific in journaling, let me know down below in the comments, or email me or message me somewhere and we'll get to those videos. My sixth tip is don't be afraid to ask yourself questions. Have you ever heard of the saying that there are no dumb questions? Well, I want you to apply that to journaling. Journaling is all about self-expression. It's all about exploring yourself. It's all about uncovering yourself. So don't be afraid to ask yourself genuine questions. Don't be afraid to ask yourself reflective questions, deep questions, and the hard question. And if you don't know which questions to ask yourself, there are millions of journal prompts out there for free on Pinterest, on Google, on blog posts, on email lists. Everywhere you can find them at all times. Just Google journal prompts, and then you can add an area where you want to focus. Journal prompts for relationship, journal prompts for creativity, journal prompts for shadow work, journal prompts for healing your inner child. There's journal prompts for everything. There are general journal prompts, and then there are very specific journal prompts. So trust me when I say you can be writing forever with all these prompts. Did you know there are even journal prompts for characters? So say you're a writer and you're writing a book, and then all of a sudden you don't know what's going on with a certain character. We as writers even use prompts for unblocking ourselves with characters, understanding our characters, understanding the plots of our books. So all this to say that journaling is very powerful, and it can help in many different areas of your life, even some areas in which you wouldn't have considered to begin with. And my seventh and final tip for this video is let go. Your journal is a judgment-free zone. Your journal belongs to you. Your journal is about you. Your journal is a judgment-free, safe zone for you to explore your thoughts, to explore your heart, to explore your memories, to explore everything you want to explore. Stop being so critical. Just be honest with yourself. Now, if some criticism is part of being honest with yourself and it's part of going through your emotions and going through your self-talk and going through your thoughts and beliefs, obviously feel free to do that, but don't judge yourself. Don't hold back from writing what you want to write inside your journal. And don't expect your journal to be perfect. You're gonna have some ink blotches. You're gonna probably spill some coffee in your journal. All of these have happened to me, by the way. You might even have spelling errors. You might even run out of ink. There are so many things that can happen to your journal, and just embrace it. Embrace the imperfection. Handwriting in itself is imperfection, but it's also perfection because it's so beautiful and unique to you. Now, if you want to take this further and you're journaling for trauma and you're journaling for mental health, I have done this before where I just started writing big letters, starting almost scratching my journal in when I was in a very rampant, destructive mood in the past. I don't do that anymore because I feel like I'm so grounded now. But those were also very much valid, and I'm so glad I've done that to my journals, and I'm so glad I have that. And it's just, something you have to go through. So whatever you feel like going through in your journal, feel free to do it. Some people I know, they burn their journals. Some people I know, they decorate and color over everything in their journal. You do you. Let go control. This is a place where you are just existing, okay? You're just existing. Sure, you're analyzing. Sure, you're going through things and you're going through your thoughts and you're going through your life, but you also need to learn to let go when you need to. At the end of the day, you need to remember this is your journal and it's adapted to you. It's adapted to your needs, your desires, your wants, your dreams. So that was it. I hope you found this video interesting and helpful. Please let me know down below. Share your own journaling journey. Share your own journaling advice. Tell me what you do with your journals. Tell me how many journals you have. Tell me how many journals you currently have and you're using. I have 3 current journals. Like I said before, I would only keep 1. So I'm very excited for this new growth in my journaling life, and I will be talking more about it. I'll be making more journaling videos. So if you want to see a specific type of journaling video, also let me know about that. I'm definitely going to do a mental health benefits of journaling. I'm definitely going to do different ways to journal, and I'm definitely going to share my personal experiences and some passages from my journals as well, if some of you want to hear that. So as always, I love you so much, and I'll see you on the next shelf. Bye.